I say, been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. I say, YouTube. Normally I come on here and I be like, good morning, but it's not morning. It's actually nighttime. Pre-game vibes. So I wanted to tell a quick little story, but before that, if it's your first time rocking with a boy, I be the KINGSPR 3. That be me, King Spree, and you locked in one of the real estate. Tell me. Reporting live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Doing couch vibes, as you could tell, couch vibes. A couple clouds in the sky, praise to the Most High. And baby, you've been so patient with me. You've been rocking with me. We had 112 subscribers. Like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the kingdom. Join the royal family. That mixtape dropping soon. And girl, I promise you gonna love it. So, I've been gone for a little minute. And during that time span, I got a new job, right? One of my more recent videos, I explained how like they were trying to jip me from my little PTO, right? And my last check. You know how jobs do when you decide that you have found a better endeavor. They try to play the game of like, oh, you thought you could just leave? Or guess what? Mysteriously, your PTO is messed up. Mysteriously, the vacation days you requested are no longer available. Mysteriously, the check got lost in the mail, so on and so forth. They cut you off. So that's fine. They got to do what they got to do. You make it your business to make sure you get what you got to get. So in going to my new place, when you start a new endeavor, when you start something new, when you are going to school or way to college or first day of school or new job, move to a new city, you got to deal with the adjustment period, and people got to deal with adjusting to you. As I'm in this new job, it's an adjustment period. Not the job itself, because I'm doing the same thing I was already doing in the therapy world. But it's more about how people are adjusting to you and you adjusting to them. So at my job, it's a strange situation because the director of the department is somebody I know very well. And the ex-director still works there in a more of like a part-time capacity. So it's a little bit, I don't want to say tension, but it's just awkward. It can be awkward, right? And I could feel the awkwardness amongst the employees that were there prior to me and their energy towards me and maybe others, but me in particular. So little things you notice that'll pop up. Little things. It's an adjustment period and you got to adjust. So, but I ain't going to lie. The first week, I felt like, I'm like, yo, are they out to get me? Little things will happen, right? Let's talk about it. So, first off, in this therapy department, it's so quiet. Like you would think people are taking SATs, right? It's like people don't. The camaraderie's not there. They're not people like laughing, joking. There's no like banter. It's like it's so stiff. Right? And when you first getting into a situation, even if your personality is to be all up in somebody's face and laughing and joking, you try to, ease your way in, especially when if you know what I mean, especially when you're this, you gotta, hey, chill out, bruh. Don't move too crazy. You gotta know how to move in a room full of vultures. I told you that before. So I'm trying to like learn, get my footing, learn my footwork, learn what works and what doesn't, right? In doing that, I'm noticing the atmosphere is just very stiff. Like, all right, that's going to take some time. No problem. It's a problem, but, I'll deal with it. I'll figure it out. And because in the therapy world, healthcare period, but in the therapy world, 8 out of 10 people are going to be cornballs. That's just what it is. Like, you're not going to be cool with everybody you meet because they don't come from the same world you come from. We are an anomaly. Let that be said. We are an anomaly in the medical field, especially in the therapy field. We're an anomaly, and by we I mean this. So, and that's just reality. That's not into like most. a lot of people are not going to go through the schooling process it takes and take the loans out and do all the things it takes to even be in a situation where you have a license and a degree. And not saying I have some doctorate, because I don't, and I got a BS associates, but I'm just saying, like, it's things you have to do that not everybody wants to do. And as a result, this is not as much as others, right? So as being this, I got to roll with a certain way, right? At ease. You got to chill out, king. You're a king, but you got to learn how to be a soldier in this state, in this situation. No disrespect to people that go out there and risk their lives. So one thing that happened was I'm working with a patient in the room, and I'm talking to the patient about, I forgot what it was something. And, Mr. XYZ, how you doing today? Mr. XYZ, how you're this? Mr. XYZ, can you move this? Mr. XYZ, let's sit here. Let's sit at your bed. Whatever I was saying. And the other therapist was working with somebody. He chimes in and he says, oh, such and such, check his blood pressure. Now, I'm already upset because I'm like, well, it's one thing if, like, the patient very well and you're suggesting something to me, like, oh, Richard, by the way, he tends to his blood pressure tends to drop, so go ahead and make sure you check the vitals before moving him, because he can feel really dizzy. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. I didn't really see that in the report. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. But telling me check his blood pressure, that ain't gonna fly, especially when you're doing it in front of the patient, because now you're making it seem like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, right? That's a problem. Mind, I didn't move the patient yet. I'm going to check the vitals eventually, but I'm asking them questions. My first time meeting the patient, I'm trying to build a rapport. But fuck all that. Don't tell me what to do. More importantly, you ain't no superior of mine. You ain't no nothing. You barely a peer. Don't do that. So I had to tell him, so I'm like, now I'm getting upset. I'm like, hey, I don't need no help. I'm okay. Hey, I don't need no help. I'm okay. I'm good. So then he steps outside. I step outside. I'm like, hey, listen. Don't do that again. Ever. I don't know what made you think that we had that kind of rapport. We don't. We clear? We good? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So, of course, he don't speak to me no more. But that's fine, because you got to establish your presence early on with these people, because sometimes they step out of bounds. And it could have just been that he's a helpful guy and didn't know how to word it. It ain't my job to understand, are you a helpful guy and don't know how to word it? You need to know how to word it. Like, come on, bruh. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but it's not that, right? So then another situation happened where, like, a lot of the nurses, like, we had a discrepancy about PPE and basically what to do with PPE. Now, mind you, I already know that I've been dealing with COVID for the past 3 years, 2 years, a couple months it'll be 3, and I'm very familiar with the protocol and what to do. And more importantly, I'm familiar with the fact that y'all don't do it. So I'm almost shocked if somebody comes to me and says something. So one of these nurses come to me and she's like, yeah, what's your name again? She looks at my tag. What's your name? Yeah, you gotta, like, make sure that you see, because they divide the patients into, like, zones, and the red zone is like the COVID zone. You gotta make sure you see the red zone last, because da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I know that, but we make sure we see the red zone last if we can. Not every time I can do that. Like, my job is based on productivity. If I go to 3 greens and 3 yellows, if for some reason 3 greens and 3 yellows say whatever, they can't do it, I can't just sit around my hands until they're ready. I got to see somebody during that time span. So then that's when I creep it to the reds. As long as I'm wearing proper PPE, there should be no issue. Not to mention, y'all not doing it. I see y'all go in and out of the red zone all the time without proper PPE. So if y'all doing it, why can't I? The answer is they just saw somebody new and wanted to, like, the energy's off. They wanted to test your energy by doing something like that. So I go straight to my director and I explain the situation. Of course, she says, no, you're okay. No, well, the way you're doing it is perfectly fine. That's how you're supposed to do it. Da-da-da-da. That's 2. The third one was a little interesting, but kind of lighthearted, but a little interesting. One of the patients had a $10 bill. She wanted change for a $10 bill. So I go to the business office. I say, knock. Hey, good morning. My name is Richard. I'm new here. I'm with the therapy department. One of my patients wants change for a 10, please, when you get a chance. So the lady, happened to be a black woman, the lady was like, Okay, yeah, sure, of course. Oh, let me go ahead and get it. Da, 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 da. So she takes 10 for me, and she goes to the little safe or whatever, and she comes back and she's like, "Yeah, that was 10 tens you wanted, right?" I said, she was like, "That's 10 tens you wanted, right?" I said, no. I gave you a $10 bill. 10 ones. She's like, oh yeah. 10 ones. I forgot. You should have said nothing. I said, I don't play that game. I don't play that game. So then she gives me the 10 ones. I give them to the patient. I count them out, give them to the patient, count them out in front of her. We're all good. I don't think that was an accident, especially how she worded it. That was 10 tens, right? She was looking this way. That was 10 tens, right? Nah, it wasn't 10 tens, mama. You not gonna catch me. You ain't gonna catch me. You not gonna catch me slipping, you heard? So I that's like was the first week of like everything. A little bit of awkwardness, a little bit of like tension in the room, tension everywhere. And you gotta get through it. I mean, there's nothing you can do but get through it. It's like first day of school, like I can only imagine going to school back during segregation times when segregation first was ended. I can only imagine. I can't imagine actually what people went through, but we're figuring it out. You gotta always chase new opportunities. A couple dollars more ain't gonna hurt you. Yeah, it's a little further, but I'm figuring things out. I just gotta get my schedule down pat. That's why the videos haven't been coming out the way they need to come out. Plus, I'm driving my girl's car now, so it's hard to like steady the camera on this bullshit ass Honda Civic. But nevertheless, like, comment, subscribe to the boys channel, join the royal family. We will have more videos coming out. We will have more reviews coming out. We will have more reaction videos coming out. We will have more content in general. The ones that like it, please like it. Like. I can't stress it enough. The ones that don't like it, dislike. And the ones that want to say something crazy, go ahead and put something crazy in the comment section, whether it's bad or other. And subscribe to the royal family. This has been a message brought to you by the good people over here at Spree ENT, which is just me.